This is episode 91 of Art Talk, and today I want to talk about a beautiful research that has been done in the Netherlands, the Mauritshuis in The Hague. This museum owns the girl with the pearl earring. I have done a review of a documentary in another episode because it was Vermeer who was marketed to the brim to get visitors to the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. People in long queues and tickets sold out even before the exhibition started. What the Mauritshuis has done is even more brilliant and very important for artists who paint. Their question was, how does looking at art work exactly? In order to understand what happens in the brain, they performed an EEG measurement on people who were there to test. They call this, as scientists, test subjects, and they placed electrodes on the heads of the participants to measure their brain activity. The participants then looked at a series of paintings as well as at reproductions of those paintings. By using eye tracking, they were able to keep track of what in particular people were looking at. After looking at real paintings, participants looked at reproductions of these paintings in an MRI scanner at the University of Amsterdam. What they found was that looking at real art is good for your brain. The findings of Professor Erik Scherder, Professor Neuropsychology at the University of Amsterdam, said that looking at art stimulates your brain on several levels. It evokes excitement, triggers imagination, and makes you think about what you see. It's an ultimate enrichment, activating your brain to the fullest. And these findings already made me happy, because it means that the work I'm doing is very good for your health, for my health and for your health, especially your brain health. And the emotional response was 10 times stronger than looking at reproductions. And since our brain is the power engine of our whole body, it may be very clear that the arts, as in painting, is not something useless you should not support in any way. On schools and in universities and art academies, it should be the number one, a must, just as language is and math. I'm definitely for whole brain teaching, to train whole brain functioning. There was another part of this research that was really interesting. They looked into the way people looked at the girl with the pearl earring. And I'm not discussing now how it was made with the camera obscura. This is about something else. Neuroscientist Martijn den Otter investigated why people can't take their eyes off of her. And since people are naturally focused on faces, the brain immediately tries to decipher emotions. It is how we, as people, determine if someone is safe or not. He says that Vermeer deliberately exploited this mechanism and did something clever with it. I find that a bit too much preaching towards the outcome. We don't know if that was deliberate. The girl looks in a certain way and also has her mouth slightly open in a very seductive way. That there is a connection with the pearl earring and the way people look at her eyes, the mouth and then the pearl and back again. They apparently do this several times in a row. So I tested this for myself on my close-up portrait, Ella, always Ella. So my eyes also went first to the eyes. They are closed or almost closed. Then the mouth that is open and seems to blow the words or sound out. She sings Summertime. And when I look at her mouth, I see that coming out. Then to her earring that seems to have a movement and back again. So you are in a kind of loop. Then I asked myself, what could be in the portrait we get into this attentional loop? And I think it's form of dynamics and composition. It is what we do as artists. When you know what you do, you guide your people through the object, to the painting. They focus on something. You keep them there because that's the important part. Of course, the museum asked for this research for very good reason, to get more people into their beautiful space. Technical art historian Lieselore Thiese worked on a PhD in regards of the significance of replicas. She also did research into the space and how we perceive art in a museum. And the artwork alone is not the only thing that plays a role. It is also the space, the light, the frame, etc. Of course, museums have spaces that they can design to optimize, but you or your clients can also do that at home. It is important that the art they buy fits in their house, in a specific room, in a specific place. Some need space around and proper lighting. Some can hang next to each other with some space in between. And lighting is always good. It is not the museum. I understand that. Nevertheless, art makes you happy, is important in our lives as artists as well as for our collectors. So finding that perfect place in your house where it feels that it is good will optimize your feeling towards the painting you invested in. By the way, visiting the Maurits House when you are in the Netherlands, I highly recommend. It's a beautiful museum. Oh, and then look with your own eyes, please, your whole being, and leave the phone at home. It makes the experience so incredibly much better. It does. So thank you all for listening. This was the first of 2025. I've been on a long hiatus, but I'm back, and next time I have a very interesting guest again. Thank you, and bye.